good one, and those of you who didn't just had a good day in general. Um, so this is the fifth day of Team Energy in a row, I believe. Again, sorry for kind of like spamming it a lot right now. I know, after a year of basically energy decks of some kind or another dominating, most people are probably sick of it. But this is prep work for an event, so today we're going to be testing the Chew build from it was basically his Pro Tour list, but he also ran it back at Grand Prix Shanghai and top aided. And I kind of like the list, but the thing that's interesting to me is he sideboards very differently than the list we've been playing. Like, yes, the sideboard's only, what, 4 cards different? But how he approaches the sideboarding is what I'm talking about being different. For example, he likes to leave a lot of the 2 drops in, whereas the list we've been playing all week and the person's advice we'd been listening to always sideboards out all of the 2 drops. I'm actually in the mindset that the 2 drops aren't particularly good here, but as I've stated many times on stream before, just because I have an opinion in my mind does not make it true, and I like to get reps in, 2, 3, or 4 leagues before I pass a confirmed like decision in my mind. I like to try to see if I'm wrong and or like sure up my thought process. I have the time to do that. I guess if I was on more of a time crunch, I would only focus on things that pass the eye test to me. But when I really have zero knowledge and it's just me making speculative statements like that, I do like to actually put in the legwork. But yep, so there's again not a whole lot to say about this build. There's one less confiscation coup, one more bristling hydra in the main deck, and we have one less forest and one less fire bluff canal, and like one more of these, I think. And then in the sideboard, there's one less vizier, there's one less supreme will, there's one less abrade, there's one less something off the top of my head that I can't think of, but seems like it's a little more controlling. And everybody's been telling me to play Rivers Rebuke. Some people have been so firm in it that they've been telling me to play it main. So I really feel like we need to at least put a Rivers Rebuke in the sideboard, which is one of the things that drew me to this particular build. Seems like a pretty straightforward hand. We're not going to have to do much thinking here. Hey, Flame Guts. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, man. I hope everything's going wonderful for you. Hope you had a happy holiday if you celebrate this holiday. I don't want to be presumptuous. Considering where you're from, I'm assuming you do, but like I said, I don't really want to be presumptuous about it. Um, hmm. They've had a very good and aggressive draw. Kinda makes me not really want to attack because if he's got a removal spell for this, I get hit slapped for another 2. But I don't particularly block well here either. I think I'll just hold it back. I don't want to take the extra 2 from removal spell. That's like half of my life. If he just had like a walk to plank, 4 mana, could be Walking Ballista. Yeah, it looks like it is Walking Ballista. Huh. So I guess I'm going to block this guy here, which makes him use both counters to finish this off. If he finishes it off, I'm not that worried about it. I can't really keep taking the damage, I don't think. I don't put much value into Rogue Refiner either. And I assume just his 3 permanents are trading for my 2 permanents, and I'm taking a little damage here. Which is obviously not the best thing that could happen, but it's also not the worst thing that could happen. Player most mana efficient threat. It's the one that also can't be killed with a walk to plank or another walking ballista, and he can actually block the scrap heap scrounger if he chooses to attack. If he's got a Vraska's Contempt or something, he just has it, but pretty sure we have to block. Again, I don't put a whole lot of value into this walking ballista, so you could have the stamina card too that like gives us +2/+0 and like brings it back from the dead or whatever. Which would actually be kind of a problem considering our Glorybringer's not a wonderful attacker in face of another Scrap Heap Scrounger coming back. So I think I'm just going to play this guy. This guy doesn't do a whole lot if he has... We'd have to hit a 2-drop to go with it to make it great. So if I just slam this guy and like draw dead air, he can buy back this, use this, attack me for 6. I think it has the highest upside though. So one thing that might let us get to play a double spell this turn. I think playing a double spell is fairly key here. And we get to. I'm also kind of wanting to force him to use the Deadlands before we play the Glorybringer. Because if we just play the Glorybringer and leave it on defense, he can turn it into a 2/2. The second Deadlands. That makes me a little sad. Run back the same play next turn though. We're running him out of cards pretty good here, but we're not really getting anywhere board state wise. Guess we're just gonna do this again. Hope we hit a 2-drop. Or a burn spell. That is a 2-drop and or a burn spell. Go get our island just in case we draw a confiscation coup. This time it's a little better for us though because he doesn't have the mana to bring back the Scrounger on this particular turn. And we're still trying to get him to get the Deadlands off the board before we play the Glorybringer, since the Glorybringer may be best served as just a random 4/4 that blocks in this state. 5 mana for a Walking Ballista. Sure. Unfortunately, sure. So we're going to take 3 damage here, and we'll probably have to exert this guy now. But it will make him take a turn off of attacking, which is better than nothing, especially when we're at 6 life. Ooh. I guess we don't have to exert, do we? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can use this. Grab a random green, since, you know, we can't get anything else. And start hopefully turning the corner, but we'll probably have to draw another spell or two to actually turn the corner. I've drawn quite a few lands. That's another one. That doesn't help us. About the best card we could draw right now is probably Whirler Virtuoso or like Rogue Refiner into Whirler Virtuoso. Bristling Hydra also wouldn't be terrible, but we definitely need to draw something. It's a Bone Picker. Ooh. Much excite. I think we'll play this before we attack. Um, for the simple fact that this could get revoked. Or this killing the bone thingy gets revoked, so I wanted to make sure I get the 3 energy there. I wanted to make sure he couldn't fatal push this in response to me casting it or anything. I'm just going to play the land. We could hit a Chandra and like tick it up and need that land for something. Like chain off a few spells. So there is the revolt. How many creatures does he have in his graveyard right now? He currently has 2. Another dead land, so like he can hit the Glorybringer this turn, he can hit the Glorybringer next turn if he wants. But he's not going to kill the Glorybringer, so we're just going to chump a lot. Could double block here. But if he draws a land, that doesn't do anything at all for us. That was a very good draw. Could just attack for 5 here. Puts him down to 3, and even if he uses this next turn, we're not dead. I think that's our best play. I'll make sure we don't exert. Hey Corey, what's up, man? That has gotten very cold in my house all of a sudden. Yeah, well, we got to survive at 1. Nice. He obviously drew way too many lands there, but we kind of drew way too many as well. It's a pretty well fought game. These mono black decks are actually pretty good. I don't think we changed a whole lot in the mono black match. I don't think these are particularly good. I think they line up very poorly versus vehicles. And I actually think this card's good. I wouldn't mind to have more of these in the sideboard maybe if this mono black deck gets popular. But I don't think I really want to change anything else here. The Planeswalker doesn't seem good. The Viziers doesn't seem good. The counterspells don't seem good. No. Maybe I could see a Spell Pierce to try to hit a Hard Kieran or an Ever Spear Harvester on the play. Wouldn't mind another Abrade in the sideboard either. Two Abrades, 4 Harness Lightnings, and Confiscation Coups. A few tools, though, to try to fight his vehicles. I think I keep calling them equipment, but call lots of things wrong. This hand seems very reasonable. We'll just snap keep this one. The 2-drops are a little less than spectacular versus the decks with Fatal Push, but I just want to prevent a random amount of damage. Yeah, probably. I can curve out like that. Probably won't Magma Spray that, but I probably will Magma Spray any 2-drop that he plays that isn't like Heart of Kirin. Stand corrected. Guess we'll just go ahead and kill that one then. I pre-ordered a bunch of that card because I thought there was a chance that it was good. Well, I actually didn't think it was going to be that good. I got convinced it would be that good. Just going to play the one that uses all of our mana. Probably won't block. We're probably setting up to try to race depending on what he plays. And depending on what we draw, of course. This looks like an attempt at a race hand. Especially when we have at least one more removal spell. 8 Glorybringers is pretty nice. The build of Temur we've been playing this week's had the 4 Glorybringers main and 3 of that other thing in the side. Or sorry, 4 Vizier in the side. Which has been pretty nice. Is he actually going to let me block? I mean, I'm going to snap block if he's going to let me block. What's the worst case scenario? He has a way to like finish this off? I mean, I'm not concerned if he finishes this off like that. He could play like Walking Ballista and spend his entire turn for that. Because I don't want to take this damage either, then. If that's the play, I don't want to take any of his damage. Like, if he's going to waste his entire turn just to finish this off with a Walking Ballista or something. Oh, double Bone Picker. Triple Bone Picker. Uh-oh. Well, you know, my friends, that kind of changes things. We'll start by just attacking. Do you still play your refurbished deck any? I'm going to play this one next because it uses the energy a little bit poorly, but if we hit an untapped land, we can just play the Lone Tusk Cub. Yeah, we didn't hit an untapped land, but I think it was still worth the gamble. I don't think that one energy is going to end up mattering a significant amount. It could matter some, but I don't think a significant amount. Rune Raider. That's kind of an interesting one for him to play there. So that presents lethal to us, and we can only attack for 10 back. Back. Alright, so I guess I'm going to play this. I'll offer him a trade with one of these. If he doesn't take the trade, he can't even attack again. If he does take the trade, drawing a Glorybringer can just win. That card's really nice. Uh, I guess it's correct to offer him a trade again. If he's got a removal spell, we're in pretty bad shape. Could have held that back for a blocker to play around a few things, but I don't think it's beneficial to hold it back. Especially when Glorybringer gets to attack next turn. Maybe we didn't need to attack with it. So he has to be able to get 2 threats through. And one of our threats... So he needs like a removal spell for the Long Tusk Cub and one of those like... I don't know what it's called. I won't call it Unnatural Stamina. Like a land and using the Deadlands didn't work. A Fatal Push by itself didn't work. So he needed like a combination of 2 cards. A Walking Ballista and a Fatal Push would have worked. But anyway, we got by a pretty tough match. I think we drew pretty well. And I don't know, he did have 3 Bone Pickers. That's a pretty big game. I do think that mono black deck's pretty good, especially like next week at Worlds, where it's Team Unified Standard. I expect to see a lot of that black deck, and I think it'll perform pretty well. And I do really like Fleetwheel Cruiser. I'm surprised it doesn't get more play. I'm also surprised that our friend Corey won't sleeve us up a Temur deck or a red deck so we can play Friday Night Magic tomorrow. That's just rude of him. It's rude that he will not be my Huckleberry. Round 2. Fight. We get to play first. Hand's reasonable. Need to draw 1 land over 2 draw steps, but even if we don't get it on the exact second draw step, we can probably still get it on the 3rd draw step and it'd be okay. I guess it depends on what we're playing versus, but having the double removal spell I think makes this hand a keep. And the hand's obviously incredibly powerful if we do get it. Yeah, so some kind of blue deck. Good chance that those 2 removal spells, which are one of the selling points for keeping this hand in, or sorry, my 2 removal spells, one of the selling points for keeping this hand might be useless right now. Yeah. They could still be Godfarrow's Gift though, and then these cards actually gain some value. I kind of like just stuttering there. Huh. Kind of want to play this. It's kind of interesting. If he's playing... I want my mana. If he's playing Godfarrow's Gift, though, I kind of feel like just playing the Long Tusk Cub is better. But we are stalled on lands. We don't have a 4th land right now. If he's playing, like, Blue-White Approach or whatever, playing the Rogue Refiner is correct because next turn the Lone Tusk plays a little around the sensor and we didn't have enough energy to make the Lone Tusk Cub go into overdrive regardless. Right, now that we see the Fielder Rune, we just assume he's playing Blue-White Approach. Which was a pretty bad match for us, especially post-board. Post-board, we have to dodge Fumigates, we have to dodge Settle the Wreckages. Sorry, pre-board. Post-board, there's a little more play to it, but overall, people tell me that it's not that bad post board, but I still think they're just very wrong. Hey, thank you, Josh. Highly appreciate. Oh, so he's the Drakehaven deck. I don't know how this plays out at all. Assume it depends on the speed that he draws the Drakehaven, but again, um, he's got a bunch of settled wreckages and a bunch of fumigates, and if he just has any of them, we don't really win ever. Especially if he draws more than one of them. Let's go bank the energy for a Whirler Virtuoso. It's too easy for him to have a settle. I'm going to play the Rogue Refiner here in an attempt to again smooth the land out slightly. And we hit the land, so I'm fine with that. If he untaps and has Fumigate, he just has it. We still have plenty of gas in our hand, including a Whirler Virtuoso, which is 5 power by itself. 6 power if you include the practically useless Harness Lightning in our hand. Oh wow, that is beautiful. Really like that. Guess I'll leave the Rogue Refiner back. It's kind of weird that Filter Rune would be in the very mana intensive version. So we assumed that was something that was possibly happening. Which was one of the reasons we didn't send a Rogue Refiner. He does get to flip the Search for Azcanta though, so like things don't really start getting better for me. Just gonna go all out on this attack. This land doesn't feel like it does anything. It's going pretty good, Dumbo. How are you doing? He's got another settle, or even a. Could even have a Torrential Gearhulk at this point. Red Rover, send no second approach on over, please. Or no second settle on over, please. Yep, looks like he's got one. Wonder if he hit it or had it. Drawing that kind of sucked. Oh, I never even noticed that he said that. Oh, he just now tapped it. I guess I couldn't have noticed it. So hopefully he doesn't have another settle. I'm not going to spend the energy here. It doesn't present lethal anyway, so if it's just going to be a 2-turn clock, I'd rather bank it for a turn, just in case he like untaps and has Fumigate or something. If he has another settle though, we're obviously running pretty bad considering we can't even get another land. There's a 2-turn clock either way, so making the tokens didn't actually seem like they do anything. Maybe I could have made one that way. Oh well, he cast that for the full 6. Rip. Bad news for us. I think I'm going to save 3 energy for cast out on this. But he's got an active search for Ascanta, so I really just don't think we're going to win. And there's the Fumigate. We're kind of worried about it last turn, but still brutal this turn. I guess if he draws absolutely nothing, we still have some outs. It's pretty hard for him to draw that poorly, though, in the monocycle deck when he has 113 lands. So his game plan's really coming together here. There's a Drakehaven. Not sure if we'll beat the Drakehaven. Killing a Drake doesn't seem like it does a whole lot, so might as well prevent him from gaining 2 life with these. And then like maybe get lucky and draw like mini Rogue Refiners in a row. We've already gone through 2 though. Glorybringer this turn wouldn't be bad. That's not a Glorybringer. Glorybringer on following turns won't be great though because of the Drakehaven, but on that one particular turn it would have been nice. Huh. I like this land too. So just Shadows over Innistrad lands? Land? I never really paid attention. You can tell that is the Omnicat block from like a mile away. What do you get? So you got a Renewed Fate. I don't think we have any out here. Pretty sure I would just concede this match if it wasn't on stream, but I'll play it out for the people on stream who may not have saw the Drakehaven deck or whatever, and what it does in the late game. But this is mostly playing it out just in case people don't know. Like this Glorybringer's not even particularly good here. He just has to have 2 cyclers and they trade for this. We already know he has 1. It doesn't really get a lot better though. Like it's just an engine that he can pretty much keep going forever. Guess I could have sent this guy too. Wasn't any real reason not to. He couldn't kill all 3 of them without Settled Wreckage. Just because the game's over doesn't mean I shouldn't still make the correct play. There's that card, so now we know no card in his hand. Oh well, he didn't have a second, but he will have it because of this, or he will hit a Fumigate, or he already does have a Fumigate, so like even though that looked nice, he's got a brick pretty hard. Should have attacked with this though. He could have potentially been at 6 if I had. back to 10. We have to draw like running rogue refiners and stuff at this point. Another land's not what we need to draw. Getting pretty close to having all of our lands. Uh-oh, now it starts getting really nasty. Now he just needs one thing. Could just have a countervailing wind at this point too, and not even let this resolve. I think it's countervailing winds. Yeah, it is. What did he show us? I wasn't paying attention. Oh. Yeah. Now he gets to block the Glorybringer, but he can just literally do this forever, especially if the active starts for Ascanta. This has to be kind of boring. Who votes for me stopping this and just going on to game 2? Saving him the time, myself the time, and the chat the time. Like, we can't get out of it. But I'll leave it up to any of the viewers if they want to keep seeing what he's doing. I think we play long enough for them to sufficiently see what it does, though. I really like the Drakehaven deck. It's pretty fun. It's kind of like blue-white approach with a more resilient win condition. It's a little bit harder to sideboard versus, I think. It feels very similar, playstyle-wise as well. Like, if people like blue-white approach, I'd highly recommend giving the Drakehaven deck a try. Alright, I will concede to this because he basically just drew all of these spells. Anything that says the word cycling. So we'll go ahead and scoop it there and not make him waste the time. I don't really like winning by timeout anyway, even though if we go to a game 3 and I made him play this out, there's a potential we could have timed him out. Yeah, I'll take a win from timeout, but like I don't actively want to play for it. So we're definitely going to take out a confiscation coup here. Probably going to take out a ton of our removal spells as well. We'll leave some braids in just in case he has things like Regal Caracol, but they can kill the Abandoned Sarcophagus. We definitely want our negate. We definitely want just all of these blue spells. Abandoned Sarcophagus, plus it's got a decent power and toughness. It's just a nice Planeswalker. Kind of want River's Rebuke. Can handle a bunch of tokens when they're expecting to block, but like, it's not great. Doesn't do a lot. I guess I want this Chandra too, don't I? I want to take out the braids. I think these might be a little too slow. Yeah, let's just run it like this. Give it a try. Like I said, they're a little bit harder to sideboard versus. We could probably get rid of the braids, for example, if it was blue-white approach. Well, that's not a keep. This is a pretty good keep. It's basically exactly what you want. An early Lone Tusk Cub and some counter magic. It's practically the dream hand versus them. But anyway, we got our little kitty cat. That's hopefully going to become a swole kitty cat. Oh my. I guess we're just going to play the second kitty cat to go with it. Had originally intended on playing that servant there, but it's pretty hard not to play a swole kitty cat. Red Rover, no essence scatter, please. Since we have double counterspell, if this resolves, I'm going to assume that we probably have enough damage to get in under the radar. The one unfortunate thing is, if he played Drakehaven, he can actually get to a point where he can start blocking, so we would need to Spell Pierce a Drakehaven. And you obviously never want to Spell Pierce a spell like that in this match. Think it's safe just to play this. And we're gonna unload energy into both. Always yield to that and press F6. That's a third of his life total, and we still have double counterspell. We technically attack for 10 next turn. We could technically attack for 12 next turn with the Whirler Virtuoso. So I think that's right, ain't it? We have 8 on board, 9, 10, yeah, 11, 12 with the Whirler Virtuoso. Alright, so I'm not going to show him the Spell Pierce. He's already tapped out. Let me double do the math. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, we can't because we actually have to pay the energy for that. I mean, that's... Alright. So, untap land? Not an untap land. Didn't really want to show him the Spell Pierce. I do think I want to play this card, though. Hey, Atrocity, how's the vacation going, man? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are not lethal, and we're going to hold up our Spell Pierce. Oh, it was good? You're already back? Wow. You don't fool around, do you, man? How's our frames doing tonight? They're doing pretty good. So we'll pump this one up. Oh, fair. We get 4 energy back, so... said I would have waited to play. Oh, he's telling me that he thinks I should play around Fumigate. But I have Spell Pierce. Yeah. No, I would have definitely 100% bluffed Fumigate or something if I didn't just have it. Or even if I wasn't bluffing it, I wouldn't play a Word of Virtuoso into the Fumigate and then just be completely out of gas. That was kind of funny. I like our opponent. He says he's a fan of our videos. Yeah, I saw a couple of your pictures before I went to bed this morning. I think I saw one with the price you paid and one with a jacuzzi, and then I went to bed and pretty much woke up, ate, and jumped right on the stream. I don't think we're going to change anything from the play to the draw. I think this card's not super impactful. It attacks on turn 5. This also attacks on turn 5, but it has a trigger. If his deck's working properly, I think he gets around this card relatively easy, so just going to run it back like this. And as usual, we're going to hope we draw, two counterspells, Spell Pierce, Negate, Supreme Willish, top cards in the top, 15 to 20 cards of our deck. It's generally what it takes to win. So this hand's powerful. It has most of what we really want in it, but we don't have a green mana, and I'm not brave enough to keep a no green land on hand. So we're just going to mulligan here, and we're going to get a much worse hand. And we're going to keep this hand even though it's actual trash. So, looks like we're not going to get to play game 3. But who knows? Anything can happen. We can draw incredibly well. He can draw incredibly bad. But, we're obviously behind the 8 ball already. His deck actually can get out of the gate fairly quickly. So, we really need a Longtusk Cub this draw step. That is not a Longtusk Cub. Does give us a relevant play for the next turn, though, providing this resolves. Unfortunately, his deck has Sensors and Countervailing Winds, so, the Bristling Hydra resolving's not super likely. And even if it does resolve, it's pretty easy for him. It's really pretty easy for him to deal with it. Between X number of settles and X number of fumigates. But either way, we don't really have any other game plan right now, so we just have to slam it and hope. I mean, it is 100% of our gas at this moment. And it looks like he's getting counterspelled. Couldn't really play around that. We could have played around Censor, but he would have been able to cycle something to his graveyard that turn. Alright. So what do we got? We have another counterspell. Well. 10 turns later, maybe this Servant of Conduit will do everything we've ever wanted it to do. We did draw our double counterspell in our top, 20-ish cards. We just didn't draw any gas. I almost want to counterspell that, but I don't think I can afford to. I think we probably have to impulse with this Supreme Will and hope that one negates enough. Oh wow, he negated that even. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess we're going to start with this. Yeah, this game's not looking wonderful. Do have 6 power on the board. I mean, it's a theoretical 3-turn clock, but he's got 6 cards in hand. He's not cycling them. So the odds of them not being incredibly powerful are incredibly low. He probably has like a settle and a fumigate, and I don't know how we beat a settle and a fumigate unless we get very lucky this turn. But either way, doesn't feel to me like we have a lot of options. Feels to me like we just have to attack and hope. Red Rover, no settle. Please. Was no settle. That's kind of nice. So that's a start. It's probably like fumigate and negate then. He left it on top as well. Could just be like fumigate over, you know, like fumigate this turn, fumigate next turn, so on and so forth. So now we're just hoping for no negate. Rip. And now he gets to flip the search for Azcanta, and it's pretty close to over. We might have had a fair chance if we just had 1 green mana on that first draw, or that first opening hand was pretty good. But when you play these 3-color decks, even though your mana's very good, it doesn't come at 0 cost. It does come at some cost. He does seem to be a little bit out of gas, though. He's cycling main phase, so... Not actually going to bluff anything. Just going to attack with a Glorybringer. If he plays Settle, he plays Settle. Got a Cast Out. He can cast a Cast Out. So our best chance to win right now is just drawing a Chandra and it resolving. We probably have like 1 turn to make that happen. And then it may not even be good enough because, like, well, he cast out it. He could have a counter spell. He's got that search for Azcanta. All right. I guess we'll just keep playing again for the sake of the stream. Not sure what kill conditions he left in his deck. If he shows us a Drakehaven at any point, we'll probably just save the stream the time and move on to the next game. We are pushing on an hour deep right now for just the second game. And our first round was pretty quick, so... But it's almost not possible to come back from this. Search for Azcanta just lets you look at way too many cards. You get to see like 5 a turn. And he's got another hard counter spell. I mean, we're going to keep fighting the good fight until he shows us a kill condition, but... I have to pay 10... Did that actually say 10 generic mana? I think that said 10 generic mana. So we saw that card. There's a Drakehaven. And we're going to scoop it up to that one. Felt like the match was reasonable post-board. I'm going to take our draw step, but we're going to scoop either way. Just search for Azcanta's Too powerful. So it's always fun to get paired versus a somebody who watches the stream, though. We wish them the good luck, the unknown basher. Wonder if he was born in '67. Yeah. So move on to the next match. So yeah, these decks' general weakest points are like just the control decks in general, especially the blue-white ones because the blue-white ones have so many X for one spells when you include the settles and stuff. And I believe we have to mulligan this hand as well. A lot of mulligans tonight. This hand's a keep. Go ahead and keep this. I'm actually going to keep this too. I'm going to hope these double removal spells actually line up well this time. We're attempting to stop opponent from acquiring a pity chest. Oh well, maybe I shouldn't have played this land on turn one. Yeah, I'm getting a mountain, so I guess it's okay. So if they're a mirror match, we have a couple of key removal spells for the early part of this game, which is kind of nice. We'll just smash us a braid out here. So we get to curve in to a 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, which is always pretty nice. Our opponent did too, and unfortunately, it's a pretty good 3-drop for him. He didn't have the 1-drop, but the 1-drop doesn't change a whole lot in terms of how powerful the draw is. We'll snap block if given the opportunity. Like, want to block very badly there. I think I'm going to offer him to trade here. Let's see if he takes it. If he doesn't take it, I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do play-wise. Because, like, I want to play the Chandra, but I don't want the Chandra just to die to a Fopter and a Glorybringer. So I guess we're just going to do this then. Load up our Harness Lightning to try to protect the Chandra. If he's got like double Glorybringer, we're obviously in terrible shape in that regard then. He could just not have anything else. That works as well. I guess if he's not playing anything else, I'm just going to Harness Lightning this and see what happens. I'm going to do it now because if he had a Lightning Harness, he could do it for like 2 of this and the extra energy he banks from the Harness Lightning, and the Servant would have been able to get one in response later. So I want to do it before he gets this 2 energy for sure. I kind of still just don't want to play this into what we're looking at. So I'll start with this. I think this card's better at like killing a Glorybringer or something than just like playing and ticking it up. We have a low amount of mana on play and it's dying on board. If we had another removal spell in our hand, we could take it up and like kill the Thopter maybe? But if he does play the Glorybringer and exert to kill one of our things now, that means we get to mildly protect it for a turn. He would have to have double Glorybringer to put it out like that. Stepping 4, 5 mana, so it's Scarab God. That's probably game unless we draw our Confiscation Coup this turn. Do have 2 draws at it though with the ticking up of the Chandra. Which is kind of nice. Oh, I guess we don't have 2 draws at it. I was counting my mana poorly. We'll go ahead and play this case we hit Bristling Hydra. But yeah, we're probably not going to beat this card. This mana doesn't really do anything. The energy's not that great. I guess I'd rather just deal the damage to him. But we're in significantly bad shape right now. I guess I could have minused and killed the Servant just to stop him from not being able to use the Scarab God for a turn, but that's actually probably the better play. Seems like it was a pretty poor play by me not to do that, but then like the Chandra just dies to the Thopter. Feel like getting the Chandra for an extra turn for at least one more attempt at hitting the Confiscation Coup, because I think hitting the Confiscation Coup is key to being able to win this game. It's probably a little bit better than me worrying about him getting one thing back. Or one extra thing back. I guess he could have got 2 things if he'd drawn his black mana, but I think it's a little bit better than that. I'm pretty sure we have to hit the Confiscation Coup this turn. Could like double block this, I guess. It makes him waste another turn, but I don't know what that does for us. Might as well give him more fuel to buy back. We're on like a 1 outer and 40. Oh. Hello. So, what kind of creatures are in the graveyard? Not much of anything, to be honest. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. Let's tap you for mana. That's still you. Yeah, we'll pay the energy. Alright. Well, we did things. Whatever I buy back, I'll buy back on a later turn. Or not a later turn, but like later during this turn. Because there's some chance I like block with the Rogue Refiner or whatever. And want to buy it back. But depends on how many creatures are going to be in the graveyard. I might would even want to buy back a Servant of Conduit. That way I can buy back 2 things the following turn. So on and so forth. Basically, I'm saying there's a lot of different options from this point on. They all involve him not having a Harness Lightning or a way to kill the Scarab God. This is the Scarab God dies at this point with the current board states. I don't think we have a way to crawl out of it without, you know, like chaining spell into spell into spell or just something brutal like that. Yeah, so let's see how he attacks to start the turn. We want to protect the Chandra, but I don't know to what degree we want to protect the Chandra. Wow. Just attacking of everything. So Chandra, 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 Chandra. Interesting. This is currently only black mana. So we could buy back the Servant, block this guy and this guy, and let it live? Alright. I guess that's the play we're going to attempt. Black, blue, colorless, colorless. Could have also got back the Long Tusk Cub, but this one has the highest upside because if the Scarab God survives till the end of the turn, we have double black mana now to buy back two things. So we could block you here and just throw you away, and it technically keeps the Chandra alive. I think keeping the Chandra alive is better than not keeping it alive. But again, this is all predicated on if he has a way to steal this back and or put this in his graveyard, we don't really have much of an option. And I don't think trying to kill the black source was enough because I think it's too easy for him to have a black source. So he's got 5 mana in his own confiscation coup, and we don't have an out to that now. We're just Dobbs. Dead Reno on board Reno. I don't want to give him the information that there's only one confiscation coup in the deck though, so like I'm not going to scoop. We're going to keep fighting the good fight. But we just do not have an out at this point. I guess rid of one of his black mana at least. Maybe if he makes some horrific decision and can't make a World of Virtuoso, we could get lucky, but... You just see more of his deck this way too, because like right now we've not saw a Glorybringer or a Chandra yet. He could have Veraska. Is it like 5 mana, 6 mana? So it's Veraska, so it's that build, which gives us a little bit more sideboarding information. Yeah, I think we can scoop to this. So that means we probably has a few less Glorybringers and stuff. Anyway, on the play, we're going to try to be aggressive. We may not bring in these Chandra's defeats, but it's something we're considering. Worst case, they still kill a Virtuoso. We're definitely going to bring in the Viziers. I'm going to bring in this card for sure as well. Oh, sorry, we're on the play. The play, we're probably going to bring in this thing. We're going to bring in this thing. We're definitely going to take out these. We're definitely going to take out these on the play. Got some 2-drops. I don't think the Bristling Hydras are great here either. Don't know if we need this many Chandra's defeats though. It's the one thing I'm kind of worried about right now. Yeah, we're going to run it like this. We're going to bank on the power of many Glorybringers with many faces. This hand's acceptable. Doesn't bring all the boys to the yard, but like, it's pretty darn good. So we need to get the second blue at some point. We already have the second red, so we're probably going to attune for a forest, play the forest, and attune for an island, but that may change based on if we draw like another fast land this turn. Starting to get chilly in my home. I think I still want to make that play. Get a forest, then get an island. And they've solved a forest. Oh, it's the Grand Prix Shizo playmat, look. My playmat looks like that. Big fan, big fan. Opponent has good taste. Will snap block if given the opportunity. Not given the opportunity. Is it a race to World Virtuoso when we're both drawing like infinite energies? Pretty sure I'd block my Hydra with his Hydra too if given the opportunity. Yeah, may as well. I like how I played this forest, by the way, instead of the island that I should have clearly played since he knew about it. Wait, sorry, this Rootbound Crag. Could have just played the island. So hoping not to see a black mana tapped. Vizier. Well, a little sad about that, but it is what it is. Hmm. I'm actually going to play the not play the land because I can't. This is just turn 5, but I'm gonna kill that. Try to slow him off Veraska a turn, and if he wants to block with this dude and buy this dude back his next turn, that takes all of his mana, and we just take 4 damage, and we get to get rid of it forever with a Harness Lightning and play a giant Lone Tusk Cub, which seems okay. Doesn't seem like the best thing going, but I have to like fight through these at some point. Oh, cool. He didn't even get a chance to play it. That's nice. Treasure Map. Interesting. I don't hate that card in the sideboard. Yeah, I'm not going to play this into Lightning Harness mana. I think I'm actually just going to play my land and the Lone Tusk Cub. Not looking to put any mana into this Lone Tusk Cub. Or sorry, any energy into it. We can put all the mana in it that they'll let us. Alright, so removal spell and or treasure map. So you can do 11 damage to it. Don't think it's worth making him spend any energy. I think our energy is as valuable as his. But that's one of the reasons that we didn't want to play the Vizier that turn. It's just like taps 4 mana straight. Oh, for the Vizier of his own. Which is pretty good for us, because now we get to play ours and we get to bash. So this game's going rather well at the moment. Things can change in a heartbeat in these matches, though. So blue, blue. Karate chop. Feeling decent about this game. So there's a Veraska. He'll be able to kill one of these two things, and the other one will be able to kill the Veraska. Which is nice. Or we can always just draw one of the other two Viziers or the other Glory, or one of the other three Glorybringers and win here. Well, an Attune is not any of those things. Which is unfortunate. Opponent's way ahead of us in cards. Have to kill the Vraska, though. Hope he doesn't have a Chandra's Defeat. Four, five, six. Snickabolus. Well, he has all the super late game. That one hurts. And that one doesn't do anything. Alright. Well, seems like the Black Splash is going to devastate us. I guess I should have cast the Vizier for 0. Just put it in my graveyard and let it get embalmed. That was a play mistake. Thought he kind of +2 that though, so this is a pretty bad play by me. Still have outs. Draw a Chandra here. Or not a Chandra, well, don't think we have outs anymore. Guess we'll take that one. I think his Whirler Virtuoso was too much for us to beat. Can draw River's Rebuke. Can't forget about that card. We do have a River's Rebuke. Doesn't do anything. Doesn't change our out. I mean, it's good. Doesn't really change our out. What card do you get? Got a Confiscation Coup? Is that what he got? Does it not say what card he got? Doesn't actually say. So I guess he got the Nissa. I don't think we want to block anything. I don't think attacking does anything here. We're playing for the Rivers Rebuke. Taking the Rogue Refiner and putting a card in their hand doesn't matter either when he's got the Nicobolus in his hand. We kind of just have to draw it. Probably have to draw it this exact turn as well. So he's using it on us this time, and he gets a Whirl of Virtuoso. So he got Nissa last time. Let's go ahead and shove this over here for now. Alright, make 2 tokens with it. 2 tokens theoretically puts 8 damage on the board, so theoretically gives us a lethal attack if we hit the River's Rebuke. I don't think we're blocking. I think we're just taking it out again. Can we take it out again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what do you guys do? 7 damage to target opponent or creature. So you can deal 9 damage to me next turn. So next turn I'm pretty much dead no matter what with an attack with everything. So I guess we just have to hit the River's Rebuke this turn. And we have to hope it's enough. Didn't hit it. We're just dead. GG. I think we played the game well. Don't think there was much else we can do about it. It's too powerful to beat those 5, 6, and 7 casting cost black cards. Make sure if you guys like what you're watching to hit that follow button and to follow the links below the stream to both my Twitter to see every time we go live and our YouTube page where you can see almost all of our past streams. And on the YouTube, if you're watching from there, there's a link to the Twitter, the Twitch, and the deck description, or deck list in every description below the video. Alright, this hand's pretty good. I'm going to keep. It's kind of awkward, but because we either A, have to miss out on a 3-drop unless we draw a land, or have to skip out on a 2-drop. Depend a lot on what we draw, but we have a removal spell and we have a Long Tusk Cub on 2. And if we really need the mana, you know, if it's a match that like these cards are spectacular in, we can always forego the Long Tusk Cub to like play Virtuoso on 3. Or we can play the Long Tusk Cub on 2, use this, get a land, and have an Abrade. So like, basically this is just a pretty good hand with a lot of options. It's just mildly awkward. Looks like this is a match that we're going to want to use the Abrade on turn 3. So we're not going to tune for an island, play an island, Abrade the Death Toucher, get rowdy. Play the island. Getting rowdy since 1991. Huh, they didn't play the white mana. Oh, just an Effer hub? After we use our braid and Effer Spear Harvester? Kind of interesting that he's not saving it to block. I guess he's afraid of us having another spell. Boom. So we need to find another braid or another Harness Lightning fairly quickly, and unfortunately their deck does play Blossoming defenses, so all of that stuff doesn't always work out like we want. Okay. Well, we can't get another blue mana, which is a problem. Hmm. Kind of want to play this and try to hit the blue mana, but also kind of just want to play this. Getting the blue mana seems important. That is not a blue mana. Think it's okay to attack with both of these? I think if he's willing to trade, that's fine. He's actually going to take it all? I didn't expect him to take it all. Yep, this is the Willy Edel type deck. Hey, strange snow. Yeah. Are you following a certain sideboard guide for this list? I think you mentioned at the beginning of your sideboarding different. Yeah, I'm using the Kevin Chu MTG Mint card article. One second, I'll post it in the chat. And the main reason we're trying this list today is because he sideboards, while the lists are extremely similar, he sideboards very differently. Like, he is a big proponent of leaving in the 2-drops, whereas the list and the guide we'd been testing earlier in the week basically wants you to take out the 2-drops at every turn. So, like, it seemed like it was a pretty relevant change. I kind of just want to attack with them all again. I guess attacking with the Rogue Refiners are bad because this thing. If I attack with this, he just blocks here. And then he makes this thing a 7. So he goes back up to 10. And in that scenario, he would have 2 potential blockers. We could Confiscation Coup one of them, and then he'd have 1 potential blocker. And we'd be able to do 3, 6, 7, 8. It's been different. This is only our 3rd match in, and we've only played versus, our 4th match in, and we've only played versus one Temur Energy deck. And we got paired versus the version that had Verasquez and Nicobolus and Scarab. So, like, it wasn't particularly close. They smashed us, but, like, it's pretty similar. Like, the main decks are not excluding the lands, but they're like 1 card different excluding the lands in the main deck, and the sideboards are like pretty close. the big difference is the approach of how these two players approach the deck. Whereas Andrea Mangucci is a proponent of sideboarding out most of the 2-drops in the mirror. This guy, uh, Kelvin, I think it's Kelvin. Double check. It might be Kevin, but I believe it's Kelvin. Yeah, Kelvin. Kelvin Chu lacks the 2-drops in the deck, especially on the play. So it's just a little bit of different of approach. Yeah, I think the Rivers Rebuke's very good. I've had a couple people suggesting that I play it in the main deck. Playing it in the main deck seemed okay. Guess I'm just gonna attack. What's the worst that can go wrong? You just block it with a random Eternalizer and get to Eternalize it? Yeah, I'm just not gonna attack, I guess. I'm gonna save that big blocker in case he has an appeal of authority. I guess he'll just tap it, but. So supposedly that green-white deck's pretty good versus us. We also got paired versus mono-black, blue-white Drakehaven, and now this green-white deck. So like we've got paired versus 3 matches tonight that are supposed to just beat Temur. So we've kind of like ran a little bad in that regard, even though we beat one of them, which is pretty nice. Man, this match is obviously far from over. Depends on what his hand is, how to shape, or how we are looking shape-wise. So we'd love to see a pass here with no blossoming defense. We get to do the happy dance of this confiscation coup if that happens. And then we get the Everspear Harvester o'clock. Alright, well, step 1 of what we wanted happened. How will step 2 fare? Should have made a token. Not making a token there was very bad. Because if this does resolve, we would have got to attack for 1. Yeah, so he's done on that one. It also, if this resolved, we would have had lethal on board through 3 blockers. So that was pretty bad for us. Kelvin, is it pronounced Kelvin though? Am I pronouncing it correctly? Luckily, the Harness Lightning that we drew would have saved us from that, so we'd have got to kill one thing and we still have lethal. But you know, that not making the Fopter could have been a potentially horrible mistake. I wonder how bad I'm lagging because the Kelvin stuff I said 2 or 3 minutes ago on my side. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm not lagging 2 or 3 minutes. Why is it bad? I've actually not saw Jerry's sideboarding strategies with Temur. I heard that he posted an article, but I asked for a link to it and nobody had the link. Yeah, their version's kind of interesting too. I've played the Commit Memory and the Gearhulk version, and I loved it when I played it. I'm just trying to kind of play like all the builds and stuff right now. I don't think he's got anything for the green white, but I'd love to see the Nelson build. Alright, so versus this opponent, we probably definitely want this. They have enough things with Eternalize. Don't think I want that. They redeploy things too easy. Don't think I want that. Could potentially want this. I'm not sure yet. Let's see what else we have. Maybe some negates. These are the cards I'd consider. The Death Gorger is the only card that I'm 100% on. What would I sideboard out? Typically in matches like this, I like to sideboard out the Confiscation Coup because I don't like paying 5 mana and then it just getting Blossoming Defense. But we're kind of short in a Braid right now, so I'm not sure if that's all that's cracked up to be. Also, typically like to take out a Hydra or two. I really think I want a couple negates. I'm not sure if I need them, but I feel like I want them. Yeah, let's try this. Hey, Cjano, welcome back. And Geo, welcome back as well. Think I should bring in the Supreme Wheel versus green-white little dudes and cats? Doesn't seem like a card I want. Well, what do I really need it versus in this match on the draw? I'm guessing Thundermower somebody stopped streaming since like my view counts doubled in the past 5 minutes. I've not played enough matches to know whether I want to be the controller or the aggressor. I probably need to just sit down and play like 10 matches of the mirror versus somebody I know, and then like, I'll try like 5 with and 5 without or something, or have one of us play the aggressor role and have one of us not, and try to evaluate it that way. I'm not really sure. Certainly going to mulligan this hand. Certainly going to keep this hand, even though this hand seems pretty weak. And Snap going to keep a removal spell. Yeah, I like them pretty good too. I kind of really want to play the Larson build with the Glint Siphoners and Gaunties and stuff, but I'm so afraid of the Red Deck Wins match. I also want to try to build like our last round opponent had, that had the Verascas and the Scarab and the Nicobolus. However, kind of can't afford that build. Kind of can't afford? Yeah, I can't talk. I kind of can't afford that build. Is that better? That's closer to being correct English, I guess. Alright, I guess we'll play this, snap this off, and grab us a mountain. Yeah, Cub can be pretty punishing. I feel like Whirler Virtuoso is pretty good versus this card. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Still just going to go ahead and play this turn. Uses the mana more efficiently. Even though both of our things are going to come into play tapped now. Yeah, I want to try both of those lists, Geo. I just can't quite afford both of them. Well, this card's going to be brutal, especially considering our hand. Especially since currently our only relevant card in our hand. I'm going to go ahead and do this now because they do play Blossoming Defenses. Ixalan's Binding is a very good Magic card in my opinion. It's an argument that I could have attacked with one Thopter. Hoo-wee! This ain't good, folks. Not good at all. Alright, let's prevent 5 damage. And let's draw Infinite Glorybringers, because that's our out now. To draw every Glory Bringer in the deck. Alright, well, if he's bringing these in, I'm probably going to bring the Confiscation Coup back in. Yeah, I think it was below 30 today. It's been as high as like 54, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we even have an out at this point. I don't think we do. Maybe we draw a second 2-drop here and like, I don't know. Yeah, thought they were below 30. Looks like we're definitely going to another game. So if he has any Ixalan, if he has basically anything, we're just dead. Yep, that one will do it. So I wasn't expecting a Gear Hulk. I definitely want this card back now. I may want some of these then. I can see any of these cards be reasonable now. Don't think we want the negates anymore. Copying a Gear Hulk's nice, but how many Gear Hulks could they really have? Just like kind of a get out of jail free card if there's ever a race situation. I don't think I really want this card though if I don't have the mana to always get to it. Yeah, we'll just run this. And hope it goes well. So we will play first, and we will mulligan because that's the theme when I play these decks. Mulligan o'clock. No blue mana, but I'm pretty sure I have to keep this hand regardless. Have to keep that on top as well. Little Long Tusk Cub, you are our only prayer. Go forth and become the cat we know you can be. Meow, meow. You can do it, little kitty. And there's another little kitty. This kind of sucks. I guess I'll just use this here then. I don't really want to. Go, speed, kitty cat. I'm going to save the braid because of Effort Spear Harvester. Hopefully we'll be able to Confiscation Coup whenever it comes around to getting the Pouncer reasonably back. I know I can't play the Lone Tusk up here, which sucks. But getting the blue mana for the Confiscation Coup seemed more important. Guess we'll kill that too. We just keep hoping this Lone Tusk Cub can do work. Unfortunately, an Ixalan's Binding absolutely blows us out since we have literal nothing else going on. There's a River's Rebuke. Okay, could have been worse. I think he could have used better timing there. We might have spent that energy. Alright, deck. You've got to do it for us. Untapped land next turn, go friend, smile. Really need that untapped land next turn. Might be rethinking it because of potentially us having a Harness Lightning. Jundil, my son, you know it's the path. I do need to try that deck at some point, but like I was saying earlier, I really can't afford that deck, so I'm not sure if that deck's even an option. I'm not going to attack here. I don't want to just trade my Lone Tusk Cub for half of a Kenra and a Blossoming Defense, especially when there's a River's Rebuke in our hand. Adunto Vanguard. What exactly do you do? Turn on non-land permanents. Controls. So that means if we were to Confiscation Coup that, we'd get to keep it. Doesn't seem like that matters a lot, though. You know, considering and all that. Renegade. Doing renegade things. The expensive black cards doesn't have Scarab in it. Like, I don't own a Scarab, for example. Opponent's playing the Willy Edel deck. It's not terrible. It's just certainly playable. They run Fumigates post board, so I'm not going to play the Swirler Virtuoso. Like, I've committed all I'm willing to commit to the board. And all we have to do is hit land, and we win with the River's Rebuke either way. So, let me pull up his list. I don't know what his actual list is. So he's going to Fumigate here, which is pretty bad for us. But like, we knew it could happen. What is his actual list? Apparently, we're talking about different decks. I'm talking about the 4-color Christopher Larson deck, and there's 3 Scarabs in it. Land? Alright, there's a land. So we're just talking about different decks. So I think we'll choose this one first. It kind of shuts down his offense a little bit. We want to be able to Confiscation Coup something of his at some point. So there's a Resilient Kenra, which is fine. We'll just take this damage and hope that he doesn't have Blossoming Defense. I mean, it seems like it's good versus certain matches. I think it's reasonable. Approach is still my favorite deck, but I don't think it's well positioned at the moment. Still my favorite deck to play. The red decks are just so powerful that you're basically just lose to them, and a lot of the other like energy decks and like mono black decks and stuff like that can bring sideboards that beat you. You're very bad versus the token matches too. But like it's still my favorite deck by a lot. Um We tried it on stream, and the fatal pushes didn't seem like they were worth enough for a more inconsistent mana base. I think we're just going to try to take this one. Could have Blossoming Defense, which is obviously very bad for us. If the confiscation coup had resolved, we could have attacked, but since we can't attack, now we're trying to block. Probably going to be forced into playing the River's Rebuke next turn. Or next. Hopefully he'll tap his mana and won't be able to replay the cast out as instant speed, because that cast out's going to cause us a lot of problems right now. We really want him to be bringing back this Adorned Pouncer out of his graveyard. Like, we really, really want that Adorned Pouncer to come back. Or to him to at least tap 4 mana for something. The Scarab Gods out of the sideboard were absolutely amazing. But the rest of it felt kind of mediocre. Just don't think I want to block here. I guess I could block the Thopter on this. For the simple fact that it makes him take more damage. Like, the odds of this Thopter attacking 4 times aren't very high. And if for some reason he chose to let that die, that would be great for us. Yeah, well. We're just not going to beat 2 of those. Not going to beat 2 of that card at all. I guess maybe we could draw like Glorybringer or something and get there, but I mean, we do have some outs. I'm just saying that, like, our odds of going down, our odds went down a lot versus him having 2 of that card. Because he can deploy both of them while having to cast out. We're not just dead. We're just not happy about the shape. There's a Glorybringer, and that presents a little bit of an interesting dilemma. Because if we play the Glorybringer, he's easily just going to take the cast out on it. So I guess we need to force the cast out with this. He'll probably get it to prevent us from being able to make a copter. He doesn't need a lot of life to play with when he's this far ahead, though, right? Like, he just needs one of those things to give trample. So I don't think I can attack. I think I have to save both my guys as blockers. A number of different cards kill us at this point. He's tapping 4 mana, so it's probably a binding or a cast out, and that's not one of the cards that kill us, so that's pretty nice. So we have to block. Whichever one he pumps, we have to block. So we need to draw a removal spell. Or something that can block. So basically anything in our deck besides a tune that costs 2 or less mana. Another Glorybringer doesn't do it, so we're dead. I don't think we could do anything differently. Could leave it in play as a blocker and hope that he plays around it. But I mean, there's nothing to play around. If we had a removal spell, we'd just go for it, and he knows that. Oh well. So this ends the Pity Dress Dreams. We're 1-3 tonight, but I think we've got paired versus four matches or 4 decks that are actually designed to beat us. Certainly can attack here, or we're just dead on board. It's like he's 100% going to attack. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, we had no out. Like I said, there's nothing for him to even play around. Yeah, we'll play the last round. We'll scoop to this opponent regardless of the outcome in this last round. But we'll play it for the stream. So I've not actually saw a Jung list then. We'll play first. My Facebook is not loading. No, I'm cut off from the world. I think we'll keep this hand on the draw. Probably keep it on the play too. Alright, so we're going to have to hit that land probably pretty quickly if he's the red deck. Guess I could have led with the red mana. Let's scoot this over here for a second. Guess I'd rather kill this one than any of them. Rip, that's a good one. And that's not a good one. So we're going to get ran over, it looks like. We did get to keep 6 cards, though, which is something we don't always get to keep. Oh, and he's got a Chandra, so this game is way over. And we'll play it out, but there's no coming back from this. Even got to tick up with the Chandra, which is super brutal. Alright, not even going to play it out now. So we're supposed to be favored in this match. So hopefully we'll be able to clean up the board games. Anyway, versus red decks, I've always liked taking out a bunch of the things that can be killed for 1 mana. And we get to bring in a Death Gorger in this case, and a couple of Chandra's Defeats, but there's not really a whole lot to bring in. We're missing 1 Confiscation Coup, so that makes Hazard a little stronger versus us. Well, we have to mulligan that. We'll keep it. Not an inspiring hand, but it's certainly a keep. We'll certainly keep that as well. Guess I could have led with the Crag. But we know our next draw, so if we draw a fast land on our second draw step, doesn't really change anything. And because we have 3 creatures in play, I'm just going to throw this out there. If he has the Shock or a Magma Spray or untap and a Lightning Harness or whatever, that's fine. Not happy to do it, but we've already mulliganed, so generally when I mulligan, I play a little greedier than when I don't. This is kind of the payoff card anyway, what I would want to spend energy on. Or maybe this is. I guess it depends on how he taps his mana this turn. Alright, so back to playing this one. I don't want him to just be able to use a removal spell and kill the other guy, so I'm going to play this guy. We're going to bank the energy. If they kill it, they kill it. That's fine. Would have been nice to have an Effer Hub or something. That way we could have played this safely. Kind of want to play this. I think we have to get aggressive. He's kind of about out of cards in his hand as well. Can like pressure a Chandra or something if he has it. Don't want to spend our entire turn just killing a Ferostodon. Ferostodon. I don't know how I added a T and an S into it, but you know, I'm not the best with the English. Hey, Kratom69, thank you very much for the follow, man. So, this is not going well. Red Rover, Red Rover. Either blue mana or 2-drop would have been nice. I guess I can attack him. Can I just die to, Can I just probably die to Hazard this game, but I don't really think I can take 6. Just play this. Have a potential lethal in the following turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm in. Yes, I said a potential lethal when technically we only even have 11 damage in play. I have no idea where I'm getting the other 3 damage from. A very lucky still of a Hazard that'll be tapped. So take our 3. Down to 10. See what our opponent's got in store for us. Another Rampager. I like how I called it Rampager. Rampaging, Rampager. Nah. Tomato, tomato. Can I just attack with both of my things? I think I can just attack with them both. Sure. So if he plays any creature at all, he takes 2. We don't die to Hazoret, but we would have died to like a Hazoret plus a burn spell. I guess a Glorybringer does it now. Glorybringer wouldn't have done it, would it? He'd have to have the burn spell still. So we can easily take that 3. Sand Strangler doesn't do anything here, but make him take 2 damage. And I don't even need the Confiscation Coup. Alright, so we stove that game, but we were on to play with a mulligan, and his hand seemed pretty mediocre. Don't know if he's Desert Red or like Red Deck wins, but I don't think that changes how we sideboard whatsoever. I think we're still just on the same sideboard plan. Hmm. Yeah, we'll just run it back. Everybody got quiet all of a sudden. How dare you people get quiet? I've started dropping a lot of frames all of a sudden as well. It looks like we're going to get the mulligan again. We've had the mulligan a lot. At least he mulliganed as well this time. This hand's reasonable, but it's not good. But it's certainly a keep. He put on top, and we'll put on bottom. That doesn't seem fair. We should both get to put on top. Do you have a Jun list that we can peruse? Well, we've not saw a non-land card yet. Sure. Spend it all. Guess this gives us access to all of them for the following turn. To play this, it's only bad versus Chandra's Defeat. You should ship it so we can see what the hubbub's been about. I'm pretty sure we easily just block here if he attacks. I think we block with a 1-1 though. Like, try to save the Virtuoso. He could easily just have like Sand Strangler. Kind of interesting timing to play that one. So green. So we'll play this first. Blue. Red. Sorry. Green. Blue. Colorless. We played it once on stream, fairly old list. It was pretty fun, but it felt absurdly horrible as a deck. Felt like one of the worst decks I played. I mean, it felt just real bad. Yeah, well, we need a way to kill that thing. It's not really a way to kill that thing, but it is something we can play. Blue, colorless, red. Play you. I have a lot of ways to kill it in our deck. We just have to get to one. Our Longtusk Cubs almost has enough energy to keep a hazard in check. Yeah, I saw his article, and I didn't really see any differences in the deck. I mean, like, they wasn't the same 75, but it felt like the same deck. So something can't block here. Which is fine. Could have made it big enough that it could block. But we kind of want him to attack. Just trade one of our things for one of his things, and he took a point of damage in the process. And we get to bank our energy and hopefully hit a Glorybringer or something. Well, that's not a Glorybringer or anything. I think we get to attack now, though. We definitely get to attack with this guy. And start applying the pressure. I did like it, though. It just, the mana was so awkward when we played it. So we're at least going to make one. I don't know if I want to make it a 4. I kind of want to be able to put 2 blockers down in case he has like a removal spell for this. That way we can magma spray that. So I think that's enough. It was like, we really want to kill the Ferostodon? What, in the sideboard or in the deck? We didn't sideboard in any of them, but basically because the blue-white decks are your worst matches. All of those blue-white decks are like just your worst matches. I think we'll at least make one of these for sure. We'll hope to get the double block here if he swings. That's fine. That's kind of as expected. So they all kind of trade, and then we have the bigger creature in play. We can't really block, and they get to choose when they want to block, but our clock is a 3-turn clock. More if they brick. So just going to go all in, put him at 10. That lets Glorybringer win. Hey, Zach, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it, Zach. Let's pull this up real quick. Pop that up there. Chandra is one of the best cards he can draw. Jund Energy by Anonymous. It's got 4 Dures's main deck. How's that? Let me pull it over to the stream for anybody on YouTube that can't just click the link that they saw. If anybody wants to see it, and then we'll pull it back here. How have the Dures's main deck worked out? Well, it's great that he can't play that, but this still puts us down to 10. I don't know if he can attack here. Anyway, Glorybringer for game? That's not a Glorybringer. I think it has roughly the same effect though and gives us a redraw to actually hit the Glorybringer. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Think we want to kill this. And then we can choose to kill that if we want. Let's just attack with both, but we don't get the loot this way. So do I value the loot more, or do I value the dealing 2 damage to him more? I think I value the dealing 2 damage to him more. It's not the same as False Seas. Glint is insane, by the way. So he has to find a blocker or a removal spell or we win on board. So you just wanted to... Oh, wait. I didn't mean for him to concede. Oh my god. My bad. I did not mean to Dream Crush this guy. Now I feel like a total ass. Oh my god. I was going to concede to that guy. I forgot about it. I was talking. Oh, tilt. Oh well. That was my mistake. Now I feel like an actual jerk. I feel like a jerk now. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong, but I still feel like a jerk. Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like a jerk. Yeah, so let's pull back his list. So today, well, hold on. First of all, let's say the little outro. Today we got paired versus the Willy Edel deck, a mono black aggro deck. Red deck wins a 4-color energy build that had Scarab God, Veraska, and Nicobolus at least post board. I didn't see any glints though, so I think he was still just a base teamer deck with the splash. And what was our last match? Oh, and blue-white approach. Blue-white Drakehaven. So basically we got paired versus 4 matches that were at least at minimum a slight dog to. We only went 2 and 3 today, but the deck kind of performed well. I'm going to have to play it more to decide whether I like this guy's sideboarding plan, the Kelvin Chu sideboarding plan, or the Andrea Mangucci sideboarding plan more. But they both seem pretty reasonable. Just need to increase my sample size to see what I'm more comfortable with. I do think it's interesting that the decks can be so similar and professionals who have large sample sizes can come to such different conclusions. That's actually pretty nice in a way. It's not just paint by numbers, different things work. I'm sure there's a correct decision somewhere, but like it might be by such a small margin that it's almost impossible to find. Anyway, so back here, I side in 2 negates, 2 Nissas, 1 Appetite, 1 Supreme, 1 Slice and Twain, 1 Sovereign. How has blue-white been easy for you? I don't know how blue-white's easy for that. Like, we're kind of blue-white experts. Expert's a bad term since I'm a bad Magic player. We play a crap ton of blue-white decks, and I just do not lose to energy decks that don't draw multiple counter spells in their top 15 to 20-ish cards. I mean, you have those games where like you get stuck on land or whatever, but I'm talking about when we actually play Magic. It's a pretty interesting deck there, Ripper, but man, the dresses are really scary to me. Only one of Brave's kind of scary too. Like, there's a lot of real relevant artifacts in this format. Okay, you went up to a 23rd land. Because when you lowers your curve, I keep feeling like the land count's not right in this deck. Generally, I'm always off about 1 land. But anyway, that's going to do it for us tonight. I appreciate you sharing the list, man. I appreciate everybody watching, the new followers. Tomorrow night stream will either be very late at night or like sometime during the morning. Because there's a very good chance I'm going to go out Friday night. But as always, we're going to do our best to continue streaming every day. Who do I see that is hostable? Jody Keith is 13-1 in lands, but that's not a standard deck, and we hosted him yesterday. Is there anybody actually playing standard? No, just me apparently. Alright, well, I guess we'll throw it to Z Magic then. He's playing a modern 5-mana Belcher deck, it says, which I did not know was a thing. Sorry that there's no standard player for us to host, but we're going to throw the host out to somebody. Anyway, take care, everybody. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'll be posting yesterday's Temur video on YouTube pretty soon. Take care, everybody, and If you're in an area that celebrates the holidays and your family celebrates it, continue to enjoy your happy holidays. And if you're not, just have a great day. Take care, all.